Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Izzy and I collect cool to hot growing orchids here in my apartment in Sydney. Today I've got another orchid spotlight for you and I would love to show you my beautiful Rinca Stylus retusa. So the Rinca Stylus retusa is nicknamed the foxtail orchid because it has dense pendant-like clusters of small flowers that resemble a fox's tail. It's native to India and temperature-wise it's an intermediate to warm grower, which roughly means about 15 degrees Celsius to around 35 degrees Celsius it generally tolerates. Here in Sydney in winter, I brought this one inside last year because I was a little bit nervous about leaving it outside in case it got too cold. And I've had this one for a little bit under a year, so I haven't experienced a full winter here in Sydney with it yet. I purchased it at the Mingara Orchid Fair from Roland Orchids last year in about June, I think it was. So yeah, I got this one during winter, and during that time I had a lot of my other Vandaceous types inside. During winter when I got it, this one was hanging behind me where you see that sort of, I think there's a moss pole in front of it currently, but directly above that moss pole is where it was hanging. And it did have a little bit of a grow light there, but it also had sort of some nighttime cool downs during winter because it's right next to the big glass window / sliding door that leads to my balcony. So it was fairly cool, but still manageable indoor temperatures. I didn't let it cool down too much, but I'm sure this one would probably do fine outside. It's more just the fact that it came from a nursery in Queensland and I didn't want it to go into too much shock when it first arrived. As the weather started warming up, I did take it outside onto my Vanda shelf outside, which apparently it has been loving, and it obviously has been getting enough light, which I was a little bit concerned about. This one needs very bright indirect light to flower. I mean, the light I give it is bright indirect light. I wouldn't necessarily say it's very bright. I definitely have prioritized some of my other really highlight Vandas over this one, and this one is the first one that has given me a spike, so I must be doing something right. And I'll show you as well, it's also, if I can do it very carefully, got some really thick roots growing in there that have grown over the summer as well. I haven't repotted this at all since I got it. Roland Orchids just had potted it in a mix of really chunky bark. You can see sort of bark about that size. There's nothing else in there. I did also water it this morning, so the bark's really dark. It generally needs to be watered almost every day in summer. Rincos do like to be a little bit more wet, and they don't mind staying a little bit more wet than some of the other Vandas, but just make sure the roots have time to dry out and the medium dries out in between waterings. In terms of the flowers themselves, I did just feature this recently in my What's in Bloom February, and at which time I said it's scented and it's an okay scent. Now, let me just say, it's not a pleasant scent. I don't find it pleasant. To me, this is really gross, but to me, it resembles the smell of vomit most closely. I can't believe I just said that, but I gotta be honest, I don't like the smell. We had a friend come over the other week and she sniffed it and gagged when she sniffed it, so it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. It has a shocking smell, but I'm sure there's things in orchids that smell a lot worse than it does. At certain times of the day, like in the morning or when the sun's on the flowers, it's a bit stronger, but it's not strong enough that I can smell it when I walk past. You have to go up and sniff it, I find. But if you have it inside, it might be a different story. So I haven't brought it inside while it's been in flower because I don't really want my house to smell like that. But the scent does not come in between how much I love the flowers and I love how it blooms. And it's still quite a small Rinco. They grow quite slowly, but the blooms and the length of the pendant flower spikes gets longer and bigger every year. So I can't wait to see what it does when it gets bigger. But yeah, that's one of the good things about it. It's quite a slow grower. So if you want something that's going to be flowering for you, maybe try and opt for a blooming size Rinco as opposed to the seedlings, because they are quite slow to grow and they will take quite a number of years before they flower. I'll just touch on humidity really quickly. Everything I find online about the Rinca retusa says humidity should be above 80% at all times. I'm not too strict with my humidity. I mean, currently outside it's reading about 73%. But I mean, it does drop down. Being outside, sometimes on the really hot, dry days, the humidity is only like, 40%. I just go out and mist every now and then if I'm home. If I'm at work, we can't really do much. As long as it's being watered regularly and it's allowed time to dry out in between, you should be fine. In regards to fertilizing, I generally fertilize this one about once a week. And from memory, I didn't give it any bloom boost fertilizer before it had its spike. It was a bit of a happy surprise when I noticed the flower spike. I wasn't expecting it to bloom. I wasn't sure if I was giving it the right conditions to bloom. So when I did notice the spike, I then switched over and gave it the bloom booster just to help prolong the length of the flowers and give them a better condition, that sort of thing. In terms of the flowers themselves as well, these ones have been open since about the 14th of February, which as of today is 4 weeks. I mean, it was probably half open 4 weeks ago, and they're just starting to fade. So I'd say they probably last for about 6 weeks, roughly, give or take. This has just fueled my passion for Rinca Stylus. Really, I really want to get some more. I really want to get some Giganteas as well. I don't have any Giganteas, so if you're growing them and there's particular ones that you'd recommend, do let me know in the comments because I would love to know. I just think they're awesome. They're really beautiful. I love their growth habit. I love that they can be outside. The dream is to have them like mounted on a tree or something and all these cascading ones together. It would be so beautiful. But yeah, that's everything I've got for you today, guys. I really hope this video was helpful for you. I hope that inspired you to get your own Rinca Stylus retusa. But definitely keep an eye out for them at shows, have a look online, that sort of thing, and you'll be able to find one, I'm sure. But I definitely recommend if you can get one that's flowering size, I would definitely go for that. If you're like me and you're somewhat impatient and want to see some flowers in the next year or so, as opposed to waiting many years, yeah, definitely get a flowering size one. If you have any questions about care or any suggestions on videos that you'd like me to make, please leave them in the comments below. Please give me a like and press subscribe if you would like to see more of my orchid content, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!